Hello guys and welcome back to our show. We are again from a TV studio here in our lovely gaming environment. We're going to talk a lot about video games. We're going to have some wonderful co-hosts and it's going to be a lot of fun. In the beginning I want to just a little bit talk about some of the feedback that came out during the last cycle while we were off air. So first off, I want to start off by saying why we are not still establishing any name for the project, and this is because we're going to experiment with a little bit of a different formats this time around. Just let me start off by saying that this is going to be nothing that you have not seen before, but just to get you a better perspective and idea of what we're doing here. I'm going to make a couple of similarities between us and traditional gaming media. Now, traditional gaming media, we're only talking about the West in this current situation, obviously. So the Western gaming media is focused on just reviewing new games and talking about new stuff in video games, occasionally covering esports, and occasionally just having interviews and covering scandals a lot now. Based on that basic environment that exists right now. Yes, we're going to have a variety gaming. This means that we're going to show a lot of new games. We're going to play Darksiders Genesis right here from the studio today. We're going to play also Warriors Orochi. You're going to see my nickname there, Kojiro, where it comes from. I'm using a different nickname in English and in Japanese. I hope this is not going to be too confusing for you. But anyways, we're going to have some similarities with traditional gaming media in terms of showing new games and showing what's popular and trending right now, but without being too, how should I say, politically obsessed about the whole thing. We're going to talk a little bit with Geri later about the state of the traditional gaming media in 2020. And we're going to have a lot of cool guests that you probably haven't seen in any other media because they are on a local level, but they're making content in English, they're making video games that are for international audience, so on and so forth. Now, in terms of esports, we're going to not only cover FGC stuff primarily, because this is where I come from mainly, but we're going to have also events right here from the studio. This will be something like a Grand Blue Fantasy versus, let's say, a show match tournament or a online tournament, something that is manageable from where we are right now, okay? So please, if I talked with a lot of people in the last week about Grand Blue Fantasy versus, and yes, we're going to have probably an online tournament or a show match with actual money prizes. I can guarantee you that. And I really want to thank everyone for the great support that you showed us on YouTube on the Grand Blue Fantasy versus videos. I just want to say that the uploads, the stream archives will be uploaded right here on this YouTube channel that you can see from the laptop right now. Okay, so this is the thing that I talked about in the last show that was in our local language. So there is also a video about Percival in Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which is already above 1,000 views. There are also some other views for Street Fighter V Champion Edition and so on and so forth. Not all of them have lots of views, but this is once again the thing that I wanted to reinforce earlier. It's when you break through after certain limits in YouTube or Twitch, what is actually going on in terms of numbers. We also are going to support content creators that are either in our network in terms of YouTube or are going to stream for us on Twitch. Now, I want you to just take a look at this YouTube channel. This is Ritos. He's a guy from Bulgaria once again. He's making content in English. He uploaded very recently a video about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and it's awesome. He makes a lot of cool videos about anime games. He has a lot of One Piece content. Yep, guys, please. So yeah, you can probably see the vision from our laptop right now. Okay, just a few seconds. Sorry about that. So, hey there, Kratos. This is our Twitch chat right now. Okay. By the way, we're having a moderator that is going to sort out the comments for us because me and Geri, we are not going to be. I'm hearing from the studio, guys. I'm hearing like a echo sound. Okay, anyway, can you guys see the laptop right now? Yeah, okay, I got it. That was my mistake. Sorry about that. We wanted to wanted to test some stuff. All right, people. So can we see the laptop feed right now? Is it on? Okay, so this is Ritus. He's from our wonderful city of Burgas, and he's making content in English. He has uploaded this video about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. You can go and watch it. He loves anime games, and he plays lots of anime games, and he makes videos for them, of course. And this is one of the things that I wanted to say earlier. If you remember, he has a video for One Piece World Seeker with over 500,000 views, so definitely check it out. It's awesome. And besides that, guys, we're going to have a weekly streaming program. This is not related to the TV studio in any capacity. No matter what kind of brand we're trying to promote out there, it's not going to happen if we only have content maybe once every 2 weeks. We are still not set on of whether or not we're going to do that every single week. That is why we still don't have a name. But there are a lot of things about the format that we want to hear from you. This is the stuff that we have done before, but the main difference between the probably other types of shows like that you have seen on Twitch and YouTube, they're focused too much on one single type of content. For example, they're making a production from a TV studio only for League or only for CSGO, or they're just talking only about the new games. We're going to have a very vibrant hybrid format here, but it's still not clear what's going to work out and what is actually manageable for us. So yeah, that's basically our idea here. Like I said, we have done stuff like this before on the media called Next TV, and I hope you're going to have a lot of fun. Now, it's time to move on to some gaming news, but before that, you're going to see a couple of trailers. The first one is going to be for Bayonetta and Vanquish. This game comes out on 18th of February this month. And we're going to cover that from the studio as soon as we are able to. There's also tons of cool games that came out on February 14. Now, let's look at the trailers, and then we're going to come back in the studio.
As long as there's music, I'll keep on dancing.
Time to hit hard and make him regret it.
strife.
You know who I am?
Yeah, I met your sister once. She was a lot bigger than you. But not as pretty. What do you want, little horseman?
Malgros the Defiler, for conspiring with Lucifer, committing countless crimes against all of creation, and by order of the Council, I hereby sentence you to death.
You come into my place alone, threaten me, and think you're just walking out of here.
It does sound funny hearing you say it.
I'm gonna count to 3. If you're still standing here, I'm gonna defile your corpse in ways you can't possibly imagine. Feed what's left to my boys. Horse meat's their favorites. Run!
2, 3! Sorry. We're in a hurry.
Get down here, Merc.
All right, guys. Hello and welcome back from our studio. Now, Geri is here.
Hi,
Hello,
guys.
Geri. Hello, Geri.
Hi, and
nice to see you again. So, Geri has a YouTube channel, by the way. And now we are going to talk about some specific sentiment about Western gaming media that we have seen in our feedback from our previous tests and other stuff. So here is her YouTube channel. She does a lot of reactions. Geri, what's the movie that you're looking forward to the most?
The most this year, the most this month.
This year also?
Actually, I'm very excited for Sonic when we are talking about gaming stuff.
Yeah.
And Sonic was one of the most controversial movies because of his design, if you know.
Yeah.
And now, you know, when they fixed it and people seem to really like the movie, I'm very excited actually to see it. It seems so fun.
So you haven't seen it already?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I do plan to go this week.
Yeah, this will probably be one of these rare case of success stories where the directors decide to scrap some part of the project and remake it and actually to look better than the original, what was intended.
Yeah, the original looked like a human being stitched to a cat.
Yeah, and it unfortunately fit very well in the stereotype that just like movies based on video games are bad, but this one actually looks awesome and there is a lot of positive reactions already out there on the internet. So yeah, we're gonna probably talk about it the next time we are here from the studio. But now, Geri, I want to just hear your opinion about something that became popular in the past couple of weeks. So since we are doing something that kind of resembles gaming media, like a lot of people told us, if you know, that we are no match for the big productions in the other countries and the awesome godlike people that like a lot of video games, and they have no bad takes when they are trying to insert politics in gaming and other stuff. So what are your overall impressions before we go to Dean Takahashi's Doom Eternal gameplay?
You mean how awesome and perfect other people from other countries are when it comes to
in the gaming media sphere, in the political sphere, the political inserts in all of the gaming reviews?
Well, I really don't like politics to begin with, and inserting them into games is really...
And especially current day American politics and the whole environment.
Everything that exists.
Yeah,
which ruins everything, absolutely. And we are freaking gamers here. We just want to enjoy our games, you know.
Yeah.
And we don't want to make them stupid.
Yeah, but people on the West don't think like that, unfortunately, and they're going to now show us how awesome they are. Now, showcasing here, Dean Takahashi playing Doom Eternal. You have probably already heard the name.
Yeah.
He became famous in something like 2017 when he tried to play Cuphead and couldn't go through the tutorial level.
Oh.
And this guy has claimed to be a gaming journalist for 25 plus years, and now we're going to see him play Doom Eternal here. The game hasn't come out already, so now we're going to look at his awesome gameplay and we're gonna react. So starting off pretty standard. Doom Eternal is an awesome looking game, by the way, but it's a heavy shooter. Are you going to play it?
Oh yeah, I plan to play it. It's not like one of my most anticipated games per se, but it's definitely on the radar, and I love FPS anyway, and the previous game was pretty great.
So guys, we are, by the way, on that note, we are supporting content creators. So here you can see how he got hit by the tentacle twice and he still went into it. So here he's trying to upgrade his skills and weapons and stuff. It's not so interesting. Yeah. I love Quake. I used to play Quake a lot as a kid. I was never actually super good at the game, but I have played the Quake on split screen on PS1, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
PS1.
Yeah.
That was a lot of squares and.
Yeah, it was either Quake or Doom. I cannot exactly remember, but we did a split screen with card boxes.
Card boxes?
Yeah, because you cannot see the. You don't have a split screen on separate screens, but on one, and you can see what the other player does. So moving back to Din Takahashi here, he's trying to. For some reason, he's not shooting at the enemy right in front of him, and he's doing some other useless stuff.
Maybe he thinks that it's raining
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, or something like that. So this enemy obviously is focused on him, but he cannot shoot at the enemy for a significant period of time now, and now he fell into the lava. He's trying to get away, and here is where the real action starts.
You mean the interesting part where we see the master in action?
Yeah. So, by the way, the people are hearing sound from the game, right? Okay. So he was actually able to kill this enemy, but now he's going to get stuck in another conundrum. So now he needs to figure out how to proceed in the game next. Okay. So he's trying to figure out where to go. He's trying out different platforms, and he seems a little bit lost here, but let's see how he's gonna solve this situation. By the way, none of us is under the opinion that gaming journalists need to be professional gamers, but this is on a whole another level. So he's trying to figure out what's going on. He's going to,
Oh, but map is 3D.
switch on the map right now. So here you can clearly see how the green areas are the areas where he was already like on, and there are clear pathways to the progression, right?
Yeah, maybe the upper levels.
Yeah, the gray areas were the platforms that he needed to go, but now he doesn't seem to be able to comprehend.
Wow, that should be a
Okay,
very
so
superhero jump if he could
why
have done
is he trying to scale the diagonal column? I don't exactly understand. Like, I think he understood where he needs to go, but
Maybe
he
he thought
seems
he's
to be
Spider-Man.
confused by the order of things. So here you can see that this chain has a clear like different graphics. So maybe you need to do something there. Maybe try to shoot it or jump over it. There is a dash in the air. So, but he's not interested in that in any way, shape, or form. He's still.
Maybe he really played Spider-Man before he played this game,
Yeah.
and he was like confused with the controls or something.
Yeah. Okay. So, if he tries to do these kinds of things in purpose, I think he's going to be very successful with that type of content. I'm being totally honest here. But the thing is that he's really considered to be something like high-level game journalist. He has a lot of connections. He's probably not a bad guy in real life, and we don't wish him to receive any like threats or like threats of violence.
You mean overall negativity?
Yeah, but this is day job, right? There are people out there that have 9-to-5 day job that involves like moving boxes and stuff, and they have families, friends, and social life, and they still play video games like 100 times better than this guy. So how is this fair? How is this thing fair? So
How is this possible even?
yeah, so he's still trying to figure out, and he's totally lost right now. Okay. Like, even you can see here how the chain is kind of different in the graphics, and he's like...
He doesn't see it.
Yeah.
It's a decoration.
Yeah. He's totally confused. So usually, because he claims he plays lots of video games, usually when you play a lot of video games, you get something like a sense of how to progress and what things to look forward to and how to like solve basic puzzles and like...
Yeah, visual cues.
Yeah, and just general problem solving, and now he's totally lost. He didn't even go near the correct area.
He kind of went backwards,
Yeah.
so to speak.
And now he's totally confused, in my opinion. He checks the map one more time, and once again, you can see the gray areas. Okay, you can see the gray areas, and probably you should try to maybe go there.
No, the logical thing is to shoot at the wall.
Yeah, but okay, even if he shoots there, he cannot actually go to that platform anyway. So
Maybe
I
he
don't
was
understand.
hoping that something's gonna fall on his head.
Yeah. Well, overall, I think that this gameplay is a little bit better than his Cuphead tutorial gameplay. Actually, let's try this right now. Cuphead.
It's
what
a
was it?
tutorial gameplay.
Cuphead, pigeon intelligence, and yeah, this is his.
You mean that he tried to make a
No.
tutorial?
No,
of Cuphead?
this is his gameplay from Cuphead, okay? And here's some other person edited a pigeon that is trying to solve a problem with like brick and a snag there. And
Yes,
now we're gonna see how quickly is the pigeon going to solve.
So this pigeon is in an experiment, you mean?
Yeah. And this is like a comparison, and the pigeon is going to
This
figure out.
reminds me
And
of-
to the left is an actual human
Yeah,
being
yeah.
with, according to him, 20 years of experience. So, guys, this is the high-level competition that we are up against. I'm so fucking scared. I cannot even like think what to do. How are we gonna deal with this sort of competition?
Actually, this with this thing.
Yeah,
with
the pigeon is moving. Is like
it's
making
already
progress.
making progress. Yeah. This reminds me of a great episode of Johnny Bravo when he was basically compared to a chimpanzee. Spoiler alert: the chimpanzee won. It was smart.
And the pigeon has already solved the problem. So
Yeah.
while Din Takahashi is still trying to understand that he needs to jump and dash while in the air. It says right there on the screen, guys. Like, well, he hasn't played any platforms. Like, he hasn't played any platform games with actual double jump gameplay or like,
wow.
He made it like 1 minute in.
That's pretty classic mechanics for a game. Any game,
Yeah, like
basically.
if he has played games for that significant period of time, he should be able to solve this in something like, let's say, 40 seconds or anything like that. But anyway, now moving on to a review from Kotaku on the game called Journey to the Savage Planet. Now, we're going to listen to this. So we're going to listen to Paul Tamayo and what he has to say about the game. This review is 8 minutes long. We are not going to watch it all, but just a little bit. We just want to see how the competition is doing, what we are up against. So you hear the sound, right?
Yeah, I hear it, yeah.
I actually played this game. It's awesome. It has a very good humor. Yeah.
It
So
reminds me of
you
Borderlands.
explore this planet. This game is called Journey to the Savage Planet. Like, this is the important part. There's these cute aliens. Yeah. Well, this game was, kind of. The humor is kind of better than in the Outer Worlds, in my opinion.
It literally reminds me something like between Borderlands, No Man's Sky, and Other Worlds.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like No Man's Sky, actually. The key point in the exploration of this game, by the way, guys, I have played already, is that you don't actually have a map. So you have to be very careful with the exploration. Yeah, and these moments are super fun. Yeah, this is a decent point so far, and now the video is supposed to end. Now look at this. So now the review continues. You hear, right?
Mm-hmm. So this is
He's attacking the word savage in the title of the game.
what in the name? What does this has to do with anything?
He's trying to educate people about how the word savage is super bad.
Wow, this is an essay on the word savage, whether or not it's offensive.
Okay, yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah, I didn't know this is a thing.
Yeah,
now,
guys,
in the
okay,
gaming
back
review.
to us in the studio. So, you saw a review in which Paul Tamayo from Kotaku, this is a very big platform, of course, is, yeah, you can take a look at this now. Yeah. So, this is Paul Tamayo from Kotaku, just making like a 1 minute long video about the game and then proceeds to just bash the game and the gaming community because they use the word savage in the title. And by implication, if you like the game, you should be embarrassed because the word savage is offensive and therefore the game is bad and you are probably an uneducated person. Like that's the
Probably whole
implication there.
dictionary is offensive now.
Yeah. So, guys, we didn't show you all these bad takes just to laugh at these people. We are not like that passionate, okay? Yeah, there are bad gaming journalists out there. It's not for all gaming journalists, of course. There are also awesome people that are doing amazing work. But when someone says to me, this is the high-level competition that we're up against, these people can go and screw themselves, okay? This is not a high-level video game content. Yes, the edits and the sound are like better than my videos, for example, but the takes are awful. I don't know, like, what were your initial reactions when you just heard how he was bashing the word savage? Did you expect that?
No, I was like, okay, I'm clicking on video on YouTube. I see that it's like 11 minutes. Then I wait to watch the whole review, let's say, and the whole review is 2 minutes, and the rest of the video is literally a propaganda essay on the word savage for no apparent reason. So if I would have, found this video on my own, I would be very, taken back by that.
Yeah, on purpose, I didn't show Geri the video beforehand because I wanted to hear her first reaction. And it's like, when I watched it the first time, I was kind of confused. It's confusing, really. Like, going from a review of the video game to being offended from the word savage and using the game as a platform to just try
basically
to
an
educate
example.
people. Like, guys, I don't know how to explain this to you. Like, if you want to have a political opinion and be a political activist, you can do that while being a gaming journalist. You don't have to do it in the same space, though.
Yeah.
Okay. For example, after work, you can go and you can like knock on some doors and just inspire people to vote for a president that is not the one that is in America right now. But you don't need to do that while talking about the video game itself, guys. Like, it's super inappropriate and it's laughable. And please understand that people in other countries like us are not that stupid that we are not gonna just fall for it and accept the wise words from the almighty Kotaku on the other part of the world. When I see something like this, I see opportunity. Okay, this is the competition, and there is an opportunity here for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, we personally are not in any shape or form affected by the whole SJW way of thinking, anyways. But I'm kind of shocked that this has turned into such a mainstream that it's even integrated in the freaking video game review now, and it's the whole review. It's more than 70% of
It's
the
been
video.
happening for years, and now in 2020, like at this particular time last year, there was a gaming journalist that tried to play Ace Combat 7, and he wasn't able to play the game at all, and the controls were too hard for him, and so on and so forth. This is their job, okay? This is their job. They need to be more competent, and they need to respect their audience a little bit more. The second point that I wanted to make is that when you have a platform like Kotaku, this is what happens when you give the platform to people who haven't worked on it in the same ways that the YouTubers and streamers are working on their platform.
Yeah, from the ground up on their own and so on.
Because the platform is given to you essentially for free. No one cares who Paul Tamayo is. Like, people are reading his articles because he's on Kotaku in particular. But if you have to build your own audience and your own platform, you're not going to be so hasty in disrespecting your audience in this awful way. It was like really, really awful. I don't know. I didn't expect to hear something like this in a video game review 2020. And
it's ridiculous. That's what it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, this is the high-level competition that we're up against. There is opportunity there for us. There is an opportunity there for you to be a content creator in 2020. These gaming journalists are not that big of a deal, and we should definitely try to be better. And it's not going to be that hard considering that this is like a gaming review, okay? So, Geri, now let's move on to a little bit of a brighter subject. What are the games in February and March that you're looking forward to?
Well, some games get really, postponed, so I'm not sure what is like coming out for sure at this time.
Are you hyped up for Final Fantasy VII?
Not really.
Okay, no problem. I'm hyped for both of us. So
oh yeah, you have enough of excitement there.
Yeah. Have you any interest in, for example, Bayonetta and not Velocity? The other game, I forgot the name, guys. I'm sorry, I'm blacking out the name. Bayonetta and Vanquish. There is a remake from the PS3. Do you like Bayonetta?
Well, it's like in the same boat as Final Fantasy, so to speak, in terms of style, in a way, because
no,
it's
more like Devil May Cry.
Yeah, but it's
honestly.
like, the Japanese style of games, that's what I mean. So
Yeah,
in that kind of a way, it's not my thing, per se.
Yeah, we are. But by the way, guys, the TV is going to turn itself off in a couple of minutes. Sorry about that. So, yeah, we have separate interests, but we are really good friends, and we are happy to be able to do this show for you guys. Geri also has streams in our native language every Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So what are the games that you're looking forward to the most that are coming up right now?
Literally, like, coming up right now, the most recent thing maybe is going to be The Last of Us. That's like the bigger game.
Yes.
But that's coming out in maybe 2 months, I think.
Okay, and you want to play Doom Eternal, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be happy to provide it for you. And what about some new action adventure games or anything like that?
Well, sure, but on the top of my head, just there's not anything that's coming out that soon.
So when Final Fantasy VII, the remake comes out, do you want us to just... I'm going to explain the game for you in the beginning, and you may hang out with us in just the initial stages. Visually at least, it looks
it looks amazing. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just not, not as far as you in that genre that much.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we have different interests. Just in the Japanese things, you're a lot more in them, as I am. I'm more in the Western things. That's the big difference. Yeah.
Gary's doing a lot of movie reactions. By the way, the Batman with Robert Pattinson, what do you think about it?
Oh, well, this is just a teaser of the costume and how it's going to look like. I'm not sure I really like it at this point. I mean, it's kind of cool that it's very similar to the Arkham games. And the logo, right now everybody talks about how the design is based on basically the weapon that killed his parents. So it's broken into 2 parts and made into the logo, which if it's true is going to be very, very interesting because it gives so much more meaning to the character, I think. So this new take is very like lightweight compared to what I'm used to seeing, you know, Ben Affleck in the role and Batman in general, how he is built, you know. Robert Pattinson is so light.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like classical. I think it's meant to be more
Have
of
you
an
watched The
old.
Lighthouse with Robert Pattinson?
No, but I heard
It's
it's
awesome.
It's very
gruesome.
insane, yeah.
By the way, what do you think about the Iron Mask with Jackie Chan and Arnold Schwarzenegger? I'm kind of on the fence about this one, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, I was shocked actually because IGN posted the trailer and a few hours later I managed to react to it and then everybody in the chat was like, Gary, this is an old movie. And I'm like, what? What do you mean this trailer just dropped? And they're like, no, this movie is like from 2 years old. It's production between Russia and Japan and this is an old movie. And I'm like, but IGN just posted the trailer. So yeah, I mean, everybody can see this movie is old. It's old movie.
I haven't seen it actually. I also thought that it already came out. Anyways.
Yeah, no, you can literally download it right now and see it.
Okay. And just a last quick thing. What do you think about the Oscars like scandal with Parasite? Have you watched Parasite?
Not yet, but I've watched a few reviews, so I can educate myself on at least on what it is and what's supposed to, you know, what is the story like. And it sounds very creepy and weird. So yeah, I probably try to watch it.
Yeah.
A lot of people appreciate it, so yeah.
I'm hyped about the show The Outsider, the HBO show. I also have the book. I'm a big Stephen King fan, so I'm looking forward to this every single Sunday. Okay, so guys, thanks a lot for sticking with us. Now we're gonna take a look at a little bit of more trailers.
Trailers.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. Don't worry. So yeah, let's take a look at some more trailers, and then we're gonna come back in the studio, and we're going to talk about Captain Tsubasa: Rise of New Champions. Право мога да пуснем... В ефир ли сме? Okay, guys. So...
Hello.
We're back from the studio and I'm here with my dear friend Aspect. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
He is a very good in production of events. We have worked together for a lot of different events for
just
FIFA.
let's go with it.
Okay,
What do you want me to watch?
so I know you're a big fan of FIFA.
Not really.
And
I know that is your favorite game, but who cares?
Yeah, it's not actually, but
Do you know who that player is?
no, I don't.
Really?
No, I really
You
don't.
don't know who is
I know Zidane and Drogba and some other like guys like this.
Okay.
I know Messi and
Messi.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
Messi, but not Messi. But fine, okay.
I don't care. But you like Pro Evolution Soccer, right?
Yeah, I used to be a professional player.
Of Pro Evolution Soccer?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so now we're gonna watch a little bit of a different football game.
Okay.
And we're going to react to the actual gameplay, okay?
Yeah, considering the fact that we used to do...
Yeah, you, back in some of our previous shows on our local language, you did a review of the old Captain Tsubasa game, right?
Yeah.
So, this is Captain Tsubasa Rise of New Champions, who is obviously based on the anime and the manga. It's awesome. I absolutely love this particular kind of football. And now we're going to see how cool and not realistic it is.
Yeah, total cost, which I don't have any idea what does that mean.
So is it going to be great if this game actually like overcomes FIFA in the global scale of interest?
First of all, I don't like the camera.
It's too close, right?
It's too close. You can't really partake in actions.
This is my favorite goalkeeper, dude. This is Wakashimazu Ken. He's awesome. I'm gonna play him in the game as a goalkeeper for sure. So this is obviously kind of like an arcade.
Yeah, I can see
football
that.
game.
I can see that.
And there are also special attacks. I cannot see the gauges and the bars and other stuff.
There they are.
No, I mean, this is probably the formation.
No. That's the...
You sure?
Yep. Look, it's rising.
And it's rising when he does the dribble or what?
When he does a special kind of move. For example, the dribble, the passing.
Yeah,
As you
but
can see, the tackles.
In order to do the special kind of move, he needs to have...
Some sort of power. I don't know exactly how much, but... yeah, I don't know. Probably because the game is still in beta, right? Or
Yeah, this is like a 15 minutes long gameplay.
Yeah, they'll probably make it more playable. I don't know.
Yeah, there will be a lot of different teams and probably the ability to make your own custom team at some point.
Tactics, offensive.
Yeah. But it's an anime-looking game, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I like the quick passing, but I don't like the camera at all. It doesn't look really realistic because you can't take many actions. You don't see where all the players are. You have to navigate through the minimap down the corner, in the bottom of the screen, sorry. But considering the fact that this is an anime-type game which has soccer elements in it, it would be interesting. It's not like the old games when it's JRPG and you have to read the text and decide what to do at the very specific moment, but it looks nice.
I was actually pretty surprised that they decided to do a game like this. Usually FIFA, obviously, and Pro Evolution Soccer just rule all, and companies are not very keen to make these types of games because they are not simulators.
One thing I'm noticing at the moment, all the players get tackled, no fouls, no stoppage.
Yeah, maybe they're just like special techniques that they use for the tackles.
I have no idea, but if that was me on the field right now, I would probably get a few cards.
Got 15 said in the chat, you know what will be cool? To make galactic football-based game.
That would be interesting, but I don't see it happening.
By the way, have you played Rocket League? Do you like it?
I did play Rocket League for a few weeks, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I gave the game a shot, but it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, it's not for me either. Although I like kind of like fast-paced like racing games that are a little bit scientific and futuristic. But
The game is fun. The game is
yeah.
fun to be played. It's
It
easy
also
to
has-
learn. Easy to learn.
it has a very big esports scene, by the way. I mean,
I know.
relatively to other games that are similar to that.
The game is too easy to learn, but hard to master, if I have to be honest.
Okay, this was some kind of a technique.
I don't
probably.
know. V-Zone activated. They seem to move a little bit slower now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
So,
If I have to be honest, I haven't watched the anime in like 10
yeah,
years
that's
or
understandable.
more.
Like, the anime is super old. There was a 2018 version.
I remember kicking
new
the ball
episodes.
from the top of the mountain and it reaches the, I forgot the keeper's name, in his backyard with a message for being challenged.
Genzo Wakabayashi.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's godlike. Okay, so this is a
Replay. The replay is nice. Usually the
So
replay
I
should be
really
like that.
don't know how how like the goalkeeper can actually control himself to protect the goal. Like they obviously scored a goal here, but I didn't exactly understand how he was able to catch the ball but not keep it at the same time.
Yeah, this is very confusing because you don't really know what is going to happen at any specific moment. For example,
That was
this reminds me of the old Naruto games when you clash with your opponent. You have to press buttons to decide who wins the battle.
This looks awesome.
So who is making the game?
Yeah, it's from Bandai Namco. I suspect that it's going to come out this year, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think the game is ready at the pace it is being shown right now.
Yeah, but the mechanics work fine, I think.
If that was FIFA, the result would be probably 10-0 or something like that.
With all the goal attempts.
Yeah. This just shows you that
Here
the
he
anime.
is, Hyuga Kojiro. No, my nickname is not based on
I
this
know.
Kojiro, it's another one.
Well, yeah, which is a little bit unrealistic, if I have to be honest.
No, it's just that his tiger shot is just too strong. Too strong.
Please teach me then. What am I missing?
He used to train by going to like a bay area or on the beach, and he's trying to kick the ball from the water surface.
Anime-like.
Yeah, he used to train like that.
Well, if we're going to use anime references, they're playing on the Saitama Stadium, which is...
Yeah. By the way, here someone on the chat said Shaolin Soccer 2001. Have you watched it? I have watched it.
Of course I have.
It's awesome. It's godlike. The evil team. By the way, guys, little known fact, I had a lot of Chinese friends around me at some point.
Ni hao.
And one of them said that they want to make a CSGO team with only Chinese players. And I said, dude, if you do something like that, I want to be the manager. Like, please allow me to be the manager. I'm going to name your team the evil team. Like it was in Shaolin Soccer. So unfortunately, it never happened, but I was super hyped at one point.
I'm trying to follow what's happening on the screen, but really it doesn't have my attention.
Yeah,
I don't see myself
the other
playing
thing
this
is
game.
how the passes are just like...
It doesn't feel like a ball is being kicked, if I have to be honest.
They're
feels...
falling into the players too easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no RNG, there's no...
Maybe there is, but like we don't know yet.
No fouls, nothing. That was a clear card.
If the tackle is from behind.
If the tackle reaches the legs of the player first, and he doesn't tackle the ball, but tackles the player,
Another
which
shot.
is a clear violation, and it's a goal. Well, it's Tsubasa.
By the way, this goalkeeper used to be able to do like a triangle jump from the goalpost and then like catch the ball on the other part of the goal. It's really awesome.
I forgot everything about the anime.
Yeah, we're gonna play it for sure, and I cannot wait to.
To beat you? I can beat you.
No, I mean I'm gonna be the best in this game. But overall,
Keep dreaming.
overall, what I want to do is have an event somewhere here in Sofia, and just like set up this game next to FIFA, and I want to see the cringy reactions of the dude bros.
Just invite some of the pro players we have on the scene and try to beat them. First,
No,
they
they're not going to like this game. Like this is obvious. We are joking around here when we are saying that this game is going to beat FIFA. It's not going to happen, but like it's going to be fun to watch how people are saying like, dude, what kind of a football game is this, dude? I don't like it at all. This is super unrealistic. Well, where is my beer and stuff like that?
Well, look at the time on the game time.
Yeah.
So much action happened for one half of the. I can't
This
speak.
is only some kind of a tactic, like I think.
Offensive formation. So
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
more
probably.
attacking. And let me guess, a goal.
Yeah, that's because this goalkeeper is a scrub. He cannot even
A hat trick.
like Mamoru. I for some reasons sometimes think in Japanese. So he cannot keep the ball even from a single like maybe light version of the tiger shot. I'm curious to see if they can shoot the ball in any other way, not only with their special moves, but this is probably some kind of a setting here.
I don't know. But look, the gouge is full. And it shows if you press L2, the V zone activates. Like I said, that's the gouge.
Yeah, but
I don't know why.
probably some of the players have different kinds of special attacks. Not all of them are offensive. So
I think that's a preset. For example, before the match, you decide with which special you want to play.
yeah, but you cannot have a tiger shot for a regular.
No,
character, for
obviously,
example. Yeah.
if it's a special move, it's a special move. It
Yeah,
doesn't
but
make
it's
sense everybody to
it's
have it.
specific, yeah. But there are probably some universal techniques.
Well, from the thing I see, there's no halftime.
Is the yellow bar a stamina bar for the players?
Probably.
That might be the case, but some
I don't
characters
know.
don't have it.
I don't know. Probably it's something else. Probably. Oh no, it's the dribble. It's the dash dribble.
It's a gauge for the
Yeah.
dribble, right?
Look.
No, there is another gauge up there. This is
Drive
yeah,
shot. Yeah, it's shown.
He's trying to.
To use his special.
Okay, so he kept the ball in order to bring up the gauge up and then use the shot.
Probably the more you keep the ball, the faster it is to use the gouge. But I don't know. I really don't understand what's going on. This is not my cup of tea. I don't see myself playing this game. I really don't see myself playing this game. I'm not saying it just because I play FIFA or PES or make events, tournaments on those games, but I don't really see myself how I would be able to play this game. It seems easy, and at the same time, a lot of thinking is involved, meaning that...
Yeah, it's an arcade game. It's an arcade
Yeah.
football game. Yeah, we're gonna definitely try it out, and you're going to give us our initial impressions here when the game
Well,
comes
I'm still undefeated here in at the studio by playing video games.
out. On PES, right?
Yeah, we had the national Bulgarian team.
Okay, so we are going to come back in the studio right now. And guys, thanks for watching. I hope you liked our reactions here. And it was really fun. I'm always hyped when I watch this
I see,
game.
but look at the chat. It turns me off despite the cool nostalgia feelings.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if... now I'm being serious here. If people really like realistic football, they have no reason to play this game. Like, we're being honest. But if you're someone like me who despises real football but likes anime a lot, you can probably at least check it out. Like the real drive of these types of games is of course if they are going to have any competitive scene.
Imagine if there was no FIFA or PES and that was all the soccer game, football game
well,
you could play.
FIFA has been around for a long time, as long as I can remember. So, it's going to be fun, however, to throw regular FIFA players with this game every once in a while. So,
The community is toxic. They're already trolling us.
I think that the PES players will be more receptive because it comes from Konami, actually. So they're more used to, like, they're going to side with us in order to defeat FIFA.
I don't know. Don't look at me.
Captain Tsubasa fans and PES fans are uniting to beat FIFA. This is going to be awesome. Okay, guys, so I hope you liked our reactions here. Thanks for watching. We're going to see a couple more trailers. Are we ready to see some more trailers? And then we're going to be back in the studio, with Geri G reviews. Thanks, guys.
Peggy 12. For the players.
Ami, asitismo super.
Peggy 12. For the players.
Make your move.
Ready?
So it's you. Prepare!
Another case is closed.
Want to see my kung fu? I'll show you.
I see your future. Wanna know who'll win?
Showtime! Light it up.
Turn to ice.
It's time for that! Time to return to harmony. Seraphic wings!
Peggy 12.
Come on!
For the players.
Yum, yum.
Innkeep, vodka. Who's this one?
Brave warrior, looks like. Got 2 swords, see? Got the stench of corpses on him.
You fucking deaf? Gonna say who you are?
Heard you wondering about my swords. Well, one's for monsters. The other for humans.
Don't touch him. Don't even look at him.
This land never flowed with milk and honey. Now it flows with blood. Armies have swept through it several times. Famine grips the populace.
You a witcher? That monster slayer they's talking about in the village. Got monster trouble?
We're not having trouble. We're up shit fucking creek.
The Elder Blood can initiate the final age, the time of the end. Remember this, Gwynplaine.
A wish. Pact. Signed in blood. And a price to be paid.
Toussaint, the land of love and wine. Your Grace, vampires!
Make your move.
Ready?
So it's you. Prepare!
Another case is closed. Want to see my kung fu? I'll show you. I see your future. Want to know who'll win?
Light it up.
Turn to ice.
It's time to dance!
Time to return to harmony.
All right, guys, we are back in the studio with my dear friend Geri G Reviews. Geri G, hello again.
Hello, guys.
So we are going to talk one more time about movies. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because there is a show that is very dear to our hearts, to both of us. This is the show Vikings in its 6th season, and both me and Geri are a little bit disappointed with it. So Geri, take it off.
Yeah, guys, so if you've seen, Vikings is one of the most interesting shows in the last few years. It started like in the middle maybe of Game of Thrones run, and it's one of those shows that, you know, have swords and shields. That's how I call the genre, so to speak. And now it's coming to an end. We are at the last season, and the first part of the last season just ended. It has 10 episodes, so Vikings this season was very, very controversial. Some super important characters that we all know and love. The classical characters
guys,
from the
there
first
will be
seasons.
spoilers if you haven't watched it. Yeah,
Spoilers.
We just want to say there is
Big
going to be
fat spoilers here. So the characters that the show started with basically are now no more, or it's how it looks like, and we are having a lot to say about all of that. So, Slavi, what do you think about this season compared to the Yeah, Kojiro. What do you think about this season compared to the last few seasons, and how is disappointing to you?
So I really love the show. I was none of those guys that turned into Vikings because they were disappointed. I'm not one of those guys that were like disappointed with Game of Thrones and therefore went to Vikings all the way. I loved both shows outside of Game of Thrones season 8, of course. But it's really awesome. I have watched it from the beginning. The part of the show, the seasons with Ragnar Lodbrok were the best, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, Travis Fimmel.
Yes, he was mainly an explorer. That was the interesting part that is missing from the current seasons. They went to England, they went to France with Rollo and Loki. The Vikings had interactions with other cultures. This was the most interesting part in the whole show for me. And now my personal feeling is that for the past two seasons, they're just having all these Vikings on Vikings wars that are, at this point in season 6, kind of repetitive. Like, it was interesting when Ragnar passed away and how all of his sons have united and went to exact revenge. But after that, they were in these constant wars, and it's happening for 2 seasons now, maybe even more, I can't remember, but it's repetitive. It's always like Bjorn and the other brother, I forgot his name, excuse me, Uwe and Fitzerk for what he's worth, and and they're against Ivor, and Ivor is always the conspirator. Like there are these switching of allegiances here and there, but I don't know, it feels repetitive. One of the most iconic characters after Ragnar died in this season, in season 6, for absolutely no reason whatsoever. It wasn't like in Game of Thrones season 1, how they killed Ned Stark and it was a set-off for some like big things that happened after that. It just Lagertha died for absolutely no reason. It was maybe to put up Fitzerk as some kind of an evil character, but he's just annoying. I don't know.
But I do have something to add to that. So I'm personally not happy with how Lagertha died. I will never be happy with how Lagertha dies, period. But the argument that a lot of people that also watched the show from the beginning is that there was a prophecy that was set in like two seasons ago, where the seer said that, to Lagertha, that she's going to be killed by some son of Ragnar. And what happened to the show, actually, it turns out that Lagertha is killed by all of the sons of Ragnar in some kind of a way, meaning that all of the sons contribute somehow to her death in terms of their actions and how their actions interacted with her life, so to speak. So Fitzerk was always the one that had no purpose at all. He was the one that has not accomplished anything that significant compared to his brothers. So her destiny was also very important. And she was not supposed to be killed by Ivor, because Ivor, to be killed by Ivor will mean that he's gonna be like winning. I mean, Eva was going to be winning over her, like in the direct way, but having Fixer kill her directly, but directly because of the actions of his brothers, what Bjorn did when he released those people of Ivor and other chain of events that we have to go back, but there's a lot of connections here where it turns out that every son of Ragnar somehow played a part in her death. So some people say that is very good writing when it comes to how Michael Hurst does the show. But for me, it still feels kind of like cheating because although this maybe has transpired through the seasons and just bits and pieces, at the end was very fastly done, to me at least. So I felt like Lagertha also was killed for no reason, because it was actually a bit ridiculous how, you know, first she was wounded in the previous season in the leg that caused her to limp, then she was made old so fast. I mean, she was presented as
After the war.
like she looked like a young woman, and then she turned with this, you know, white hair.
After her, she broke after that guy died.
Yeah,
her lover,
the priest.
Yes.
Yeah, so she got white hair. Then they tried to apply makeup on her, like literally to make her look older. And in the end, she was just like a grandmother with a sword, and she decided to bury her sword in the ground, just like Xena in the second season. No, sorry, in the first episode of Xena. She buried her weapons, and, you know, symbolizing that she doesn't want to do anything anymore, you know, with war, so to speak. But of course, destiny, you know, caught up to her. So yeah, basically, Lagertha was killed by people that does not deserve her death, you know, to have her died. And Hvitserk is the biggest piece of garbage human being on the show.
Excrement.
Yeah, so I didn't feel that, although you know, his role is just that and his destiny just that, I didn't feel that he deserved it. And getting back to Ivor and be best buddies once again, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that happened like really quickly and for no reason whatsoever. He was obsessed of killing Ivor, and like with the snap of a finger, he was kind of
like,
over it.
Yeah, over it. Yeah, hey, brother.
And guys, like, the way Hvitserk was established as they probably tried to establish him as some kind of a villain and dislikable character, but he's not evil and dislikable the same way that Joffrey is in Game of Thrones. He's just annoying, okay?
He's basically nobody.
Yeah,
he looks like
just
nobody.
Annoying. He does like same things in every episode. He's drunk and he like sees these strange visions, but he's just annoying in the show overall, in every scene that he's in. And yeah, they're probably gonna kill him in the end, but I don't know, it wasn't worth it you losing Lagertha in this ridiculous way. She deserved better. And on that note, I also believe that probably Bjorn isn't that either, because the show has kind of a history, this like bait and switch with the deaths of certain characters, how they're away for a while. I also want to see Floki. I want to see what happens with him. But
yeah, what the heck?
So far.
What the heck happened with him? And judging by what I saw, you know, of the show, interviews with Alexandra Woodwick, Bjorn may be still kind of alive in some kind of a way. We're going to see him in the next part of the show. That is what I know. But it's really a bummer, because at the end it turns out that Bjorn never actually fulfilled his destiny, that he was a bit of a letdown as a son of Ragnar. I mean, he accomplished a lot of stuff on his own. He was able to earn the, you know, Bjorn Ironside name, so to speak, to learn kind of like this title, you can say. But at the end, he did so many mistakes that led to so many chain reactions that he kind of looks like a screw up in terms of a king. You know, in terms of a king, he is like, what are you doing, Bjorn? You know, and
yeah, but he still has like how should I say? It's like an arc of development of the character himself.
Yeah,
like he does this thing, and there is a reaction that you can relate to with Hvitserk. It's always the same. I like Ube also. He's super cool character, but he hasn't really been doing something like super important so far. And maybe we need to just wrap this up with the info that we actually don't know where the second part of season 6 is going to come. There were some like info on the internet that it's going to be in November. I think it's going to be this year.
Yeah, this year for sure. For sure. And also Michael Hurst has a lot of plans for a next show that's going to be a continuation of a sort, you know, of Vikings. But he did say that he's already told the story that he wanted to tell. So that's going to be it for our characters. But to me, just the sad part is that we no longer will have, you know, anybody from the start of the show. They all are going to be dead, you know, Lagertha, Bjorn, and Yeah, nobody.
Yeah,
from
the show is
from the start.
overall, I think I will watch the second part of the season 6, but the show has something to be desired, and it was disappointing that it turned out this way, although we are both fans of it. I think it's fair to criticize it. Okay, guys, so this is going to be it for our segment. Now, a couple more trailers, and then we're going to be back in the studio, and we're going to play video games right here from the PS4.
Yum, yum.
Innkeep, vodka. Who's this one?
Brave warrior, looks like. Got 2 swords, see? Got the stench of corpses on him.
You fucking deaf? Gonna say who you are?
Heard you wondering about my swords. Well, one's for monsters. The other for humans.
Don't touch him. Don't even look at him.
This land never flowed with milk and honey. Now it flows with blood. Armies have swept through it several times. Famine grips the populace.
You a witcher? That monster slayer that he's talking about in the village?
Got monster trouble?
We're not having trouble. We're up shit fucking creek.
The Elder Blood can initiate the final age, the time of the end. Remember this, Gwynplaine.
A wish. Pact. Signed in blood. And a price to be paid.
Toussaint, the land of love and wine. Your Grace, vampires!
Peggy 12. For the players.
Okay, guys, now we are back in the studio with my dear friend Geri G. So, we talked about the games in February and March, but there is one specific title that we absolutely need to mention, and this title is called Dreams by Media Molecule. There was a closed beta, I think, some months in the last year, but Geri, this game basically allows you to create your own game within the game. Basically, the game is something like a development constructor with which you can make your own game. This came out on February 14th, together with all the other different titles that I'm going to show a little bit later. So, have you played Little Big Planet, by the way?
Little Big Planet? No, I have not yet.
It is again from Media Molecule, and in that game you were able to once again create different types of video games in there with the constructor and with all the tools, but it's very difficult to navigate and it takes really a lot of time. But the cool part is that you don't need to be a designer, you don't need to be a coder, you don't need to understand game engines troubleshootings very well. You just are given a lot of tools that you can like morph and transform, and then you can create your own game from there. Like if people can see some of the footage of the trailer right now, these are all games that are made in Dreams specifically. So Geri, if you have this title, what kind of a video game would you like to make?
That is absolutely amazing first, because we see a lot of different styles here that are just, so different from each other. So basically, your imagination is the limit here.
Yes.
It's absolutely amazing.
That's the idea.
Well, what I would make definitely something first with realistic graphics. Second, maybe it's going to be like an open world warrior type of a game. Definitely something that is like Xena Warrior Princess turned into a game.
Like basically like an action adventure game?
Action adventure with a bit of an RPG element, armor collecting, and cool quests and mountains and castles, and wow, I'm so excited actually. Come to think of it,
Yeah, so the idea is that you don't need to create the game from the very scratch. There are a lot of tools that are available to you. There is a basic game in Dreams where you play something like an old school musician or something. It's the same as in Little Big Planet 3. But after that, you can have the tools that are made by actual designers and actually professional people, and then you can use those tools to create your own game in there. Personally, what I would like to make is something like a virtual studio or an esports convention center. I'm not really interested in creating a game because I really don't have enough time, but I want to create like a venue or an event that is happening in the form of a video game.
Something like a virtual studio?
Yeah, something like this. So we can make a virtual studio of ourselves in that game. So that's going to be pretty interesting. And now, guys, you can come back to us in the studio. And now we are going to see a video that I made about all the cool games, because not only Dreams came out on February 14, a lot of other cool games came out on that day as well.
What a lovely day.
Yeah. So,
lovely day.
Yeah, so you can take a look at this video, and now look at it, and we are going to be back in the studio playing different types of games on the PS4, guys. Don't go anywhere. 14th of February might have been a special day in which you get to go out and not be a nerd for a while, have a social life, buy or receive a present, do something fun with another person, or like have fun in any other way that is not related to video games. However, if you consider the number of cool games that came out on that date, you might have had a hard time doing that. Well, it happened to me for sure. On Saint's Valentine's Day, we got new version of Warriors Orochi 4, Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate. This game originally came out in 2018 and it was pretty fun to play. Little known fact is that this game actually won a Guinness World Record for having the most amount of playable characters in a hack and slash game. 170 characters, guys, that's insane. That's like just pretty crazy number, but now the Ultimate version have even more characters than that. You also get the following additional content. It has new scenarios and they are added to the base game. There are more characters and more deification forms. These are basically like power-up forms of some of the characters. There is also some gameplay changes with the Musou system, in which you can just switch between the different Musous of different characters. There are also new sacred treasures. There is also a new mode called Infinite Mode, in which you get to play like different towers with floors and stuff. And lastly, I want to mention who the real new characters are. You get to play Gaia, Hades, Yan Jian, Joan of Arc. This will be pretty awesome. Can't wait to try her out. Ryuhei Hayabusa from the Ninja Gaiden series, Achilles and Perseus. Now, Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate is available on all platforms, PS4, PC, Nintendo Switch and Xbox One. The whole game costs $69.99, and if you have the original, the upgrade costs $49.99, which in my opinion is a little bit of a high price, to be perfectly honest with you, considering the fact that the original game had quite a bit of microtransactions, which will also inevitably will happen in the Ultimate version as well, I mean after it's released already. Nevertheless, I personally love the game, and it really has tons of characters, and like the story mode, the basic story mode is quite lengthy, so please consider that. And if you're a Warriors fan, this game is definitely worth it. We're gonna probably play this game right here from the studio later today. I'm going to play with my characters that I have boosted. I played Fuma Kotaro, Akechi Mitsuhide, Sanada Yukimura and a couple of more characters, but the one character from the new ones that I definitely want to try is Joan of Arc. I think it's awesome that this character appears in that game. Of course, the other characters are from the Samurai Warriors and Dynasty Warriors characters, so I can't wait to try this game out in more depth at some point. Next up is Street Fighter V Champion Edition. I have already played this game quite a lot with the new character set. The new version of the game brings the characters count to a whopping 40 characters with the inclusion of Set in the roster. The launch of the original game back in 2016 was pretty rough, there is no way around it. But now with this amount of characters, the additional V-skills and the new V-triggers and all the other content, it's definitely worth playing, and I will personally try and spend more time with the game. The Champion Edition has all the characters and their cool skins released so far, with the exception of a couple of the stages from the Capcom Pro Tour circuit. Also, as you have probably heard me saying, Set is just freaking awesome in this game, guys. I mean, I wasn't so hyped about Gil, but Set is just godlike. He's like a KOF character almost. Street Fighter V Champion Edition costs $30, but if you have the original game, the upgrade costs only $25. I can't wait to start playing the game a little bit more seriously this time around. I'm gonna definitely play Set and a couple of other characters. I don't want to play only one character in this game. And yeah, this is probably the best time to start playing Street Fighter V. We also had the console release of Darksiders Genesis. The next chapter of the legendary Dark Fantasy game series originally came out in December last year for PC. Now it's on all the consoles, including the PS4 of course, on which I'm gonna play it. Now you get to play as Strife, but this time around the game has a isometric vision and is not action-adventure based like the previous one with Fury. I just love the series. I mainly play Japanese games, but I love Darksiders. Haven't played on PC Darksiders Genesis, but I can't wait to play this one, and I just want to shoot some demons with Strife. I think this character looks pretty cool. The game is $39.99 on the PS Store right now. And from what I saw, this game will also have a Stadia release for the 5 people out there who care about this. We're going to play this game right here from our TV studio a little bit later in the show, so stay tuned for that. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this game for sure. And last but not least, I would like to bring your attention to the game called Dreams that also came out on Saint Valentine's Day. Actually, calling this title just a game with quotation marks is not doing it any service. Yes, you have a basic game with a story that you can play in Dreams, but its strongest suit is the ability to create your own game with countless of tools at your disposal. You might know this fact, but Media Molecule, the creator of Dreams, was also behind the Little Big Planet, which also had game development in it. Now, I haven't played Dreams myself yet, but from what I have heard so far, this time around you have even more tools at your disposal, and